Hi, it's Mark from Top Local Lead Generation. We're here with Western Canada's franchise expert, Chuck Prenevost, and we're going to talk about some of the trends that he's seeing emerging in franchising in 2015, especially around essential service franchise. How you doing, Chuck?
Good morning, Mark. I'm doing great, thanks.
So, 2015, lots of changes, choppy economic climate. So, what's happening in essential services?
Well, essential services, is attractive to a lot of folks that are going through that choppiness in their career as a result of the economy. Essential services is, in my opinion, is one of those categories that is attractive to a certain type of people, and in that category, or what people that fall under that category would be, as corporations look to downsize and cut expenses because of the economy's uncertainty, they usually start with middle management and work all the way up into senior ranks. So essential services is a type of franchise that is attracted to those kind of people, those managers, those mindsets, because throughout their career they've been used to working within a process within their organization. So that's what makes it attractive to them. Franchising in general is all about systems and processes, and that's what makes them superior to a lot of their competition that way. Um, Essential services. Let's drill down into the essential service category. You know, as the name implies, it's a business model that provides a needs-based service, and you should be ready to serve upon demand. So that's the essential part of it. So in other words, being reactive to a customer's requirements on relatively short notice. All right. So that's the kind of my loose definition of it. The main benefit of this category is that it crosses over to many different marketplaces or markets. So it's not only just business to business, it also crosses over to business to consumer categories. It has some retail opportunities as well. And, the customer base it could range right from kids all the way up to seniors. So there's quite a large spectrum of customers to choose from that way. So buying into an essential service usually means acquiring a small space or a retail location to use as your base of operation, and it's a place to fulfill the customer needs in the retail part. And I want to make a specific designation here. There are essential service type of businesses that are specifically business to business, and others that are specific business to consumer or retail. So I'm just going to note those two along the way. Um, One of the biggest things I like about essential services is it's a business model that can't be changed or made redundant by the internet. People will always need this service or product. All right, so that's a very important distinction, um, that takes some of the risk out of it. I call this a recession resistant business because it doesn't matter what the economy is doing, if this service or product is required, people are going to seek it out. All right, so it's always in demand that way. A lot of times it's high repeat customers in this. The investment range for a business to business type of service, essential services, usually in that 100 to $200,000 range. And then if I can go to the retail side, business to consumer, you tend to be in that $200 to $400,000 range. Again, the added cost, bricks and mortar, building out a retail location that way. Other things that are attractive, it's low staffing requirement. Again, you ramp the business up as you get business or sales. A lot of times there's multiple revenue sources. It's not just a single source, right? So that's good for building out your business model. And it also attracts people because there's a multiple unit opportunity when you're specifically talking about retail. So it allows you to create a strategy and then go out there and dominate the marketplace. And excuse me, it's usually within well-established industries that consumers use regularly on a regular basis. And oftentimes the franchisor will already have strong brand recognition within your marketplace. So one of the comments, so those are some of the highlights of essential services, Mark. One of the comments I hear, continuously from my clients that attract them to, and again, I'm going to go business to business focus type of essential service franchise, is they say there's no artificial ceiling or cap to how big they can grow the business. So the more effort they put in, the bigger the opportunity is for them. And that's very attractive. So they're not limited by a defined territory, and they can scale up that business as big as they want to grow it and control the pace of that growth. And then similarly, in a business to consumer or a retail type of business, many owners are attracted because of the multiple unit strategy I was alluding to. So they start one location. Once it becomes profitable, they look for location number 2. They hire a manager to manage location 1 and then build out number 2. Once that gets profitable, they look for number 3 and then number 4. So it's not uncommon for franchisees to have 5 or 6 locations, under this retail type of essential service franchise model. So, excuse me. So many are attracted here to this category because of the scalability of the model, and they don't want to be limited to how big they can grow this opportunity. So that's one of those other trends in 2015 that we're seeing a lot more of that middle management and executives get attracted to as the uncertainty happens and downsizing corporate world happens.
So what would be some example essential service franchises?
In the B2B category, some examples of that would be, think of water and fire damage, restoration, mitigation. Again, when a fire happens in a business or a condominium, doesn't matter what the economy is doing, you have to react and deal with that situation. In a more retail environment, B2C, business to consumer, that could be a type of service. A simple one that I refer to a lot that people understand is hair care, getting your hair cut. Doesn't matter, again, what the economy is doing. You still want to look decent for your, next interview, or, you're going out on a business meeting. You still will seek out those services.
Great. Not necessarily that one being a great example of what a senior manager is going to necessarily jump into, or am I wrong?
No, I would disagree with you, Mark. Yeah, they would be oftentimes attracted to that because it's a relatively simple business model. Sure, there's some staffing requirements, but what attracts them is more the growth opportunity. They're used to growing big, big white elephants within the corporate world. Having one location, feedback I get is that would get me bored just having one. I want 2, 5, 10. So they see it, they're attracted because of the predictable profitability of the business, and they can grow it as big as they want to.
Yeah, that makes sense. So that's why you get Chuck to help you pick which franchise opportunity is a good match for you. He's an expert in this. And you can reach him at 1-604-849-0278. Again, that's Chuck Prenevost, franchise expert. He's free. He doesn't cost you to get expert guidance and coaching in how to choose the franchise that fits you the best. 1-604-849-0278. Thanks, Chuck.
Thanks very much, Mark.